Hey everyone, and welcome to the start of another reading vlog. It is currently Monday and it's also the start of week 3 of WHATEVERATHON. So if you missed my last 2 reading vlogs, then I'll leave them linked in the description if you would like to check them out, because I am doing weekly vlogs throughout the month for WHATEVERATHON, and so far I have read 3 books for this readathon. So pretty happy with that, to be fair. I initially pledged 8 books and then I added 6 books onto my TBR because I know what I'm like, and because I'm on Team Epic and High, I knew that I would probably be reading the books a lot slower than I usually do. So when I finished my last book last night, I was trying to work out what I wanted to read next, because originally my plan was to read The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson, but because the last book that I read was an epic adult high fantasy, I didn't want to pick up another one straight away. So instead I decided to start When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole, which is a thriller, and I've literally read the prologue, so I can't tell you anything about it yet. But what I wanted to do was to finish this book and then make a start on Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Ngan, because one of the prompts for this readathon is to read a book where the first letter in the title matches the last letter of the title of the book before. So When No One Is Watching, Girls of Paper and Fire, I think that works. I mean, it does work because G and G. So that is my plan for this week, is to read When No One Is Watching and Girls of Paper and Fire, and then I might move on to Mistborn, or I might save this for next week. We'll see how it goes. Hello. Happy Tuesday. So I am now 100 pages into When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole, and I am really enjoying this book so far. The plot is really interesting and I'm liking how the writing is building this tension and this sense of unease, and that is something that I like in thrillers. I like to feel like I'm on the edge of my seat, and it makes me want to keep on reading, which is always good. So in this book we're following a woman called Sydney who lives in this neighbourhood in Brooklyn that is being gentrified. So a lot of the black people in this neighbourhood have started to move away and a bunch of white people have started to move in, and Sydney comes up with this idea of running these historical walking tours to show the history of this community. You also follow this other perspective of a guy called Theo who has recently moved to this neighbourhood, and he's moved in with his girlfriend, who is a dick, by the way. I cannot stand her already, and I'm only 100 pages in, so fair play to Alyssa Cole for making me hate a character this quickly. But yeah, basically Theo volunteers to help Sydney with researching and running these walk-in tours, and that's about as far as I've got. I don't want to say too much more on the plot going forward, because I feel like with thrillers it is really easy to accidentally spoil things, and I always find that when I'm reading a thriller I want to know enough about the plot to get a sense of whether it's going to be something I enjoy, but I don't want to know too much that I find it predictable, because if there's one thing I don't like, it's a predictable thriller. One thing I did want to mention though is that there's also multimedia throughout the book. So there's this community app that the neighbours use to post on and communicate through, and so you see the posts to this app. And I really like that in general in books. I really like multimedia because I do think it helps to bring the story to life and make it feel more real. I've never actually read anything by Alyssa Cole before, but I do really like the writing so far. I wasn't sure what to expect going into this book because it has had very mixed reviews. I think on Goodreads it has an average of about 3.58, I think. I think that's the average rating, which isn't super low, but it's also lower than average, I would say. So I wasn't sure what I would think of this, but so far I have enjoyed the writing, and I'm interested to see what direction the plot is going to go in, because I feel like the characters are lying at the moment. I feel like these characters cannot be trusted. I think they're hiding stuff, and I have a few theories that I'm not going to share in case I'm right and I accidentally spoil things, but I think that Sydney in particular has a secret, and I think I've worked out what it is. But also Theo, I do not trust that guy. I think that he's lying to us. I think that his motivations at the moment aren't quite clear. So the intrigue is definitely there, and I'm excited to find out what's going to happen. Hey everyone, so it's now Wednesday, and as you might have just seen, I popped to the library on my lunch break earlier because I had a couple of books that I needed to take back, and then there was one book that I needed to pick up, but I ended up picking up two books because I have no self-control, and also it's free because it's from the library is my reasoning. So yeah, I thought I would show you the two books that I picked up and also tell you a funny story because, as I said, I went to the library on my lunch break, and so I was in a bit of a rush because I had half an hour to get there and back. So as I was leaving the house, I grabbed the first face mask that I could find that was clean, and I thought it's fine because I'm only going to be in and out in 10 minutes. And the receptionist was giving me these really weird looks and I couldn't work out why. And then I realised it was probably because I was wearing a Halloween mask in the middle of in the middle of June when it's like 20 odd degrees outside. So that was fun. But yeah, the two books that I picked up were Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb and The Ninth Reign by Jen Williams. So this is one that I'm hoping to get round to before the end of the month because it is a host favourite for WHATEVERATHON. So if I read it, then I will get extra points. And this has been on my radar for a while because everyone who's read this that I've heard describing what it's about has said that it's a very political, character-driven fantasy. And those are buzzwords for me. If someone describes a fantasy as being very political, I can guarantee that I'm going to want to pick it up because I like political fantasies. And also I'm pretty sure that this has talking animals in it. Have I made that up? Is that right? So hoping to get round to this before the end of the month, but I do have 3 weeks to read both of these before they're due back, and I could extend them if I need to, but yeah, I need to read both of these at some point. Well, I don't need to read both of them at some point. I don't know what I'm saying. I want to read both of these at some point. The Ninth Reign is one that's only been on my radar recently because I think I heard Elliot Brooks talking about it in a video, and the way that she was describing it, I can't even remember what this is about, but I can remember listening to her talking about it and thinking, that sounds like something that I would really, really enjoy. So when I saw it in the library, I spontaneously decided to pick it up and give it a go. I'm hoping that this will be one of those underrated, or what's the word? I'm hoping that this will be one of those books that I pick up on a whim and actually end up really loving. So yeah, another book that I'm hoping to get around to soon. I do also have reading updates, so I'm now over 50% of the way through When No One Is Watching, and this is quite a short book. I think it's around 350 pages, but I had to stop reading it last night. I probably could have read some more, but it was making me feel really, really anxious. And I think it's because the main character, Sydney, is trying to work out whether there's something sinister going on in her neighbourhood. And I could feel her fear and her anxiety, and it was making me feel very, very on edge. And so I put the book down. I am planning to read some more tonight. At the moment, I would say that it feels like a 4-star read, even though the build-up has been quite slow. I love the tension and just the general atmosphere. I would say that I can see why some people wouldn't love this because some of the language feels more like a romance novel in the sense that, for example, the guy Theo talks about how he wakes up one morning with a boner. And so that is something that I wouldn't usually expect to see in a thriller. It literally did not bother me at all, but I wanted to point it out because I think that it's something that would bother some people because it was a little bit jarring, and there's been a few lines in this book that have kind of jolted me because I just wasn't expecting them. But I have heard mixed reviews on the ending for this book though. Some people seem to really, really hate it, but because I am liking it so far, I'm hoping that it's not going to be too much of a disappointment, but we will see how it goes. I'll probably update you next once I've actually finished this book because I haven't got long left. I mean, I'm just over halfway through, but I'm flying through it. So if I finish it tonight, then I'll update you later, or I'll update you tomorrow, or whenever I finish the book. Okay, so I finished reading When No One Is Watching last night, and I feel really conflicted on this book because the overall plot and the overall premise I did really like, and especially the way that it was looking at gentrification and the effect that it had on this neighbourhood. I thought that that in itself was really interesting. However, without going into spoilers, the ending was very jarring because the first 75% of this book, there was this slow burning tension and this build up, and I really, really enjoyed that. And then the last 50 pages, suddenly there was all of this action, and the actual plot and the direction it went in and what actually happened at the end, I didn't dislike it or anything, but I thought that the execution could have been done better. It all just felt very rushed, and so I don't know how I'm going to rate this. I did put it through Core Pile and it came out as a 3 stars because it scored really high for plot and characters and atmosphere, but the logic maybe was down. I need to double check actually how I rated this, but it came out as a 3 stars. I would say it's more like a 3.5. I never know with books like this how to rate them, because if I enjoyed the majority of the book, then should my rating be based on that? But then if it's got, you know, like a weak beginning or the ending lets it down, then I never know how to incorporate that within the overall rating. But I would still recommend this book, I think, because I did love the first 75% of it, and I would like to read more of Alyssa Cole's books because I did enjoy her writing. Hey everyone, and happy Friday. So I thought I should probably do an update because I started reading Girls of Paper and Fire last night and I'm already about 30% of the way through, I think. So I wanted to capture my initial reaction and my thoughts so far. So in this book we're following a girl called Lay, who is a human. So in this book there are 3 different casts. You have the paper cast, who are human, then you have the steel cast, who are part human, part demon, and then you have the moon cast, who are fully demon. So throughout this book we're following this girl called Lay, and she's chosen to become a paper girl, who are basically the king's concubines. And Lay doesn't want to be a paper girl, even though it's considered a very big honour in this world. She wants to stay at home with her family, but you follow Lay as she travels to the capital and she starts having these lessons to learn how to be a consort of the king. I'm not sure how dark this book is going to go because it is classed as young adult, but I know that some of the themes that it covers are very dark. So I'm not sure how it's going to go, but I am planning to read some more tonight once I've finished uploading my new video, and then I will probably catch up with you tomorrow to let you know how I'm getting on. But this is the kind of book that I think I could literally finish it in a day if I let myself. I think that I could actually just sit down and read the whole thing, and last night I really struggled to get to sleep because I kept thinking about this book. So we're off to a good start. I'm excited to see how it goes. Good morning and happy Saturday, although I will say it's not been a very happy Saturday so far. Everything seems to be going wrong today. I've already filmed this clip once and then I realised that my microphone wasn't switched on, so none of the sound recorded. So I'm having to film it again. And also my cat decided to wake me up at 6:30 this morning, which I wasn't impressed with. I don't know what's wrong with her this week, but she's being really clingy. And so this morning I woke up and she was meowing in my face and like pawing at me and just rolling around all over the bed, and it was very cute. But you know how sometimes when it's 6:30 in the morning you just want to be left alone to sleep? But yeah, that has been my day so far. I have been reading some more of Girls of Paper and Fire and I'm really enjoying it so far. I think I've said that already, but there's something about Natasha Ngan's writing that is just really gripping, and I'm finding it really easy to breeze through it. I think I could actually finish it today. I was a little nervous to start reading it this morning because I just had that feeling that if I would start it, then I wouldn't be able to put it down and I would literally just stay in bed all day and finish the book, which, to be fair, considering how tired I am, that probably wouldn't be a bad thing. But yeah, I'm gonna go and read some more, and I will catch up with you once I finish the book properly, because I do think I'm going to finish it today or tomorrow, and then I'll probably start a new vlog for my next book, because as I've already said, I think at the start of this vlog, I'm planning to read The Final Empire next, and I'm really nervous, but I think I want to do a dedicated Mistborn reading vlog, which will probably be next week. So I will let you know how I get on with Girls of Paper and Fire. But also, I've just realised something that I don't think I've mentioned in this vlog yet. I am still reading A Clash of Kings by George R.R. Martin. I started this, I think it was 3 weeks ago nearly. I started it at the start of the month because I wanted this to be the audiobook that I listened to throughout the month. And the audiobook in total is over 30 hours long. So it has taken me a long time to get through. I am listening to it on 1.8 speed now, so I'm getting through it a little bit quicker, but still really enjoying it. It is my kind of fantasy in the sense that it's very political, even though it is slower paced. And I can't tell you much about this book because I've already talked about it in previous vlogs, and also it's the second book in a series. So yeah, I'm going to go for a walk later and I'll probably listen to my audiobook for a little bit then, and then I will catch up with you later. There was a bus that just went past outside, so I'm really sorry if you could hear that. Hey everyone, so I am here to wrap up this vlog because I finished reading Girls of Paper and Fire last night, and I really enjoyed this book, a lot more than I was expecting to, I think. Obviously I knew that I would like it, or I thought that I would enjoy it, because otherwise I wouldn't have picked the book up. There was just something about it that gave me that 5-star feeling. I did run it through Corpile and it came out as a very high 4 stars, but I decided to bump it up to a 4.5, like a 5 stars, because you know how sometimes you just know it, like a book just gives you that 5-star feeling. So that was what that book was for me. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this yet, but there is a female-female relationship that develops throughout this book, and I did think that that was beautifully written, and I thought that the characters were also really well written, especially Lay, and the way that you see how she processes her trauma. I thought that that was handled really well. I should probably say actually that there are trigger warnings for this book, especially for sexual assault, so just something to bear in mind if you are thinking of reading this. But I definitely want to read the next book in this series. I think I'm going to wait though until the final book comes out, because this is a trilogy and the third book isn't out yet. And I've heard that the second book has mixed reviews. Some people seem to really love it and some people say that it's not as good as the first book, and it does suffer from that middle book syndrome. So I think that if I read the second book once the third book has come out, then I can read them back to back and maybe I wouldn't have that issue. But yeah, 5 stars. Would really recommend this if you are looking for a YA fantasy. So yeah, I think I am going to end the reading vlog here, because I am planning to do a little more reading this afternoon, but I'm planning to start Mistborn, and I think I might have said this already, but I do want to do a dedicated reading vlog for this, so that'll be next week. But yeah, I am going to go and let you get on with your day. So thanks for watching if you've made it this far. If you have read any of the books that I've talked about in this vlog, then let me know in the comments what you thought of them, and if you're taking part in Whatever-a-thon, let me know what you've been reading this week. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and click subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye.